In the past few weeks, the internet has lit up with a single urgent question: what's going on in the skies? Across the globe, people are sharing footage, eyewitness accounts, and articles about strange, unidentified flying objects. And no, we're not talking about drones or satellites. These objects are fast, silent, often metallic, and they seem to defy the laws of physics. Some hover for minutes in place. Others shoot across the sky at impossible speeds. In May 2025, UFOs aren't just a fringe topic. They're trending. And this time, the conversation feels different. Something's shifted. People aren't just laughing it off anymore. It all seemed to kick into high gear earlier this month when scientists in Colombia stumbled upon something that looked like it came out of a sci-fi movie. In the town of Buga, a metallic sphere was discovered, smooth, seamless, and shockingly intact despite reportedly falling from the sky. Witnesses claim they saw it flying, not falling. The object didn't have any joints, rivets, or welding marks, just a perfect futuristic orb. Theories exploded online. Was it part of a spy satellite? A military test gone wrong? Or something else entirely? Even scientists were baffled, saying the materials didn't match anything local. And of course, the word extraterrestrial started floating around again. While Colombia was still processing its otherworldly orb, another incident happened, this time near the India-Bangladesh border. On the night of May 23rd, villagers in Hasnabad, West Bengal, saw something floating in the sky. It wasn't a star, a plane, or anything familiar. It blinked with multicolored lights and hovered without sound for over 10 minutes. Then, just like that, it vanished. Local authorities suggested it might be a drone, but even they admitted the flight pattern and altitude didn't add up. Border. Patrols were called in. People began speculating about surveillance tech, but no one could explain the eerie silence or the sudden disappearance. It was like the object had just blinked out of existence. Thousands of miles away in Mexico, another bizarre event was caught on camera. On May 18th, passengers aboard a cruise ship near Cozumel were enjoying a calm evening when a silver disk flashed past the horizon. The speed was so high that the object was almost imperceptible, but someone had their phone out at the right moment. The footage went viral within hours. Some thought it was just a bird, others a glitch. But many who slowed the video down claimed it showed a classic saucer shape, something no seagull could ever match. The fact that it zipped by with no sound and no visible propulsion only fueled the mystery, and then came the reports from the United States. In Arizona, military officials quietly confirmed that an F-16 fighter jet had sustained mid-air damage after what was described as a collision with an unidentified object. The pilot reported seeing something reflective and fast-moving, then feeling a sudden impact. The jet made it back to base, but its fuselage had unusual scratches and dents. Strangely, there was no radar signature before or after the strike. That's what made this event different. Normally, birds, drones, or enemy aircraft show up on systems long before they pose a threat. But this? It was like the object materialized, out of thin air. So now we've got mysterious spheres, blinking skylights, cruise ship flybys, and even military encounters. And all of this has happened within just a few weeks. No wonder UFOs are trending. But the public fascination isn't just about the sightings. It's also about the bigger question: are we finally getting closer to the truth? Part of what's driving this renewed interest is the growing shift in how governments are handling the topic. Back in March, a new documentary called The Age of Disclosure premiered. It made huge waves by alleging that governments, particularly the United States, have been hiding evidence of extraterrestrial contact for over 80 years. The film includes declassified documents, whistleblower testimonies, and what it claims is footage of recovered alien technology. Whether or not you believe all of it, the documentary reignited the conversation in a major way. It reminded people that we've had questions for decades. The only difference now? More people are listening, and the government hasn't exactly stayed silent. The Pentagon recently released another piece of footage showing a small orb darting across the desert at low altitude. There were no wings, no rotors, and again, no radar signature. The object was being tracked by a military drone, but even the operators admitted they had no idea what it was. This kind of transparency, even if limited, is new. Just a few years ago, sightings like these were buried in bureaucracy. Now they're on the nightly news. Meanwhile, organizations like NASA and the Department of Defense are walking a tightrope. On the one hand, they admit that unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, exist. They've been caught on camera, on radar, and in infrared. There are dozens, maybe hundreds of official reports. But on the other hand, they're quick to say there's no definitive proof of aliens. Just strange things flying around that they can't explain yet. It's a smart move, acknowledging the phenomena without committing to a conclusion. The NASA UAP study released last year emphasized the need for scientific investigation over speculation. They want better sensors, more data, and less sensationalism. But that's easier said than done when social media is flooded with new videos almost daily. Every blurry clip is treated like proof, and every unexplained light becomes a sign. The public isn't waiting for answers. They're drawing their own conclusions, but the question remains, why now? Why are we seeing so many sightings all of a sudden? Some believe it's always been like this, we're just paying more attention now. Better cameras, more people online, and a cultural moment that's more open to the unknown. Others think something's changed, that maybe we're being watched more closely. Maybe we're getting closer to something. Contact, disclosure, or something else entirely. There are also more grounded theories. With rising global tensions and advanced technology being developed in secret, some of these sightings could be next-gen drones or surveillance devices from countries like China or Russia. That would explain the silence and speed, but it wouldn't explain everything. Like the lack of radar, the odd shapes, and the way some of these things seem to just vanish. And maybe that's what makes UFOs so fascinating. They sit right at the intersection of science, fear, and wonder. They remind us how little we really know about our skies, about each other, about what might be out there. Whether they're alien craft, secret tech, or natural phenomena we don't understand yet, they force us to confront the unknown. And in a world that's becoming more predictable and algorithm-driven, that unknown feels both terrifying and exhilarating. So yes, UFOs are trending. Not because of little green men, not because of tinfoil hats, but because real people, pilots, scientists, even government officials, are saying something strange is happening. And for once, the rest of us are actually paying attention. In the UE, coming weeks, more footage will surface, more questions will be asked, maybe even more evidence will be revealed, but for now we're left with mystery, with wonder. With that timeless feeling of looking up at the sky and asking, what the hell was that? If you're someone who loves digging into the unexplained, you're not alone. The truth might not be out there yet, but the conversation definitely is. And we'll be right here following it, one sighting at a time.